B'Shem HaShem na'aseh v'natzliach, Shir Torah. Always great to be in Miami. This is the group with the Siyata Dishmaya, Best Shiurim. So, Baruch Hashem, we had a new shiur yesterday, good shiur, a lot of new chidushim, a lot of different things that anyone that's really serious about doing tshuva has to watch it, because everyone has Yetzirah. Everyone has Yetzirah. It doesn't matter if you're really, really righteous. It doesn't matter if you're just starting. It doesn't matter if you're from birth. It doesn't matter if your father's the biggest tzaddik. It doesn't make a difference. Everybody has Yetzirah. And there's two different types of Yetzirah. Sometimes you have Yetzirah that is going to be a big Yetzirah for you to make one big sin. And then you have the Yetzirah that's every day. The one that tells you, listen, maybe today not so modest. Maybe today you should overcharge the client. Maybe today you should not pray. You know, the one that has that every day. So Baruch Hashem, we talked about it yesterday at the new location we have for the Tuesday Shiur at the Breslov Center in Aventura. And Baruch Hashem, it was good. We had a little bit of a funny event happen before it. You can put it here. Yeah, you can put it here. Yeah. It's good here. Yeah. So. We had a funny little thing with in the beginning. I have two left hands. I ended up spilling over the candle that had some oil in it, so I had some balagan I had to clean up. So it's kind of funny, you know. It has to disturb you right before the shiur. Baruch Hashem, it was good. So today we're going to talk about some new things. This is PirkeiAvot number 15, and Verdad Serie we're going to try with Siyata Dishmaya. We're going to try to include a lot of different things that are relevant to today, whether it's the political situation that's happening in the United States, the political situation that's happening around the world. What does it have to do with our parasha? As we always know, there's everything that's happening in your life and in the world in large is always has some type of connection to the parasha. And also we have an amazing holiday coming up in a few days, Hanukkah. So B'ezrat Hashem, we'll try to connect a lot of these different things, and because this week's PirkeiAvot, Bet Gimel, chapter 2, Mishnah 3, talks about politics. So before we start, we always have to do the Ilu Nishmat and the Fuash Lema. So first and foremost, the shiur will have, we'll go to Ilu Nishmat, Menuch Simcha Bat Shimon, Menucha Simcha Bat Shimon, and also to Refuah Shlema to Gavriel Ben Doris, Levana Bat Sarah, Sarah Bat Levana, David Ben Nisriya, Doris Bat Joa, Michel Koto, Hadassah Bat Sarah, Ampara Balufe, Reuven Joseph Ben Rivka, Sarah Bat Sarah, Gladys Nunez, Edilma Guerrero. Baruch Hashem, I see Isabel Perez is healthy, so she's not on the list. Josefina Matos, also another one is off the list. Marcela Matut is off the list, Baruch Hashem. Alandra Matut, Ana Sedeno, Guillermo Solano, Jose Avila, Bill Deutschman, Herb Finkel, Raquel Sandler, Lourdes Garcia, Lourdes Renzoli, Yeshua Michael Ben Hadassah, David Uriel Ben Sarah, Olga Flores, Miriam Martinez, and David Gamliel Ben Hadassah. May Hashem give them refuat nefesh, refuat guf, and B'ezrat Hashem help all of Am Yisrael have both refuat nefesh and refuat guf. We need refuat nefesh to serve Hashem, and we need the right way, and refuat guf to be able to do it. You know, refuat nefesh, we need to, it's knowing that to do it. Refuat guf, you need to be able to do it physically. So we need both. B'ezrat Hashem. B'ezrat Hashem, we get both. Now, this week's Mishnah is very, very interesting. It's a very short Mishnah. You know, usually I try to cover one or two. This one I think is going to cover the whole thing, because there's so much going on in the world today that you could really sum it up in one sentence of the, in essence, the good and the bad. So Mishnah Gimel says, Hevu zeirin barashut, שאין מקרבין לו לאדם אלא לצורך עצמן, נראים כאוהבין בשעת הנתן, ואין עומדין לו לאדם בשעת דחקו. Beware of rulers, meaning government and political figures, or even heads of state or heads of groups, all types of groups. Beware of rulers, for they befriend someone only for their own benefit. They act friendly when it benefits them, but do not stand by someone in his time of need. So this is not necessarily a chidush, literally, to all of us, because anyone that's lived in this world for more than a week already knows that people that are in position of power, the powers that be as they call it, usually take advantage of this power and don't necessarily use it for what they were put in there for in the first place. And so Rabban Gamliel is telling us this, and we already know from the last couple of Mishnayot that Rabban Gamliel, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, he was in a family that was in essence the kinghood. It was the family that not only had power themselves, they were from the Shevet Yehuda. They said that if anybody was Raui, like in essence had the merit of being the Mashiach in that generation, it would be Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, his father. So if anybody had the merit to be Mashiach, it will be him. So obviously, this is a very big deal. And they say, why does he have the merit? It says, because he's the perfect human being. Not only is he a genius, a tzaddik, he's extremely wealthy, he's extremely powerful, he's connected with the Roman king, the Chavruta, the Roman Caesar, and Rebbe were Chavruta learning Torah. And on top of it, any time that he has any type of issues, whether it's health issues or any type of problems, he thanks Hashem, showing that his connection to Hashem is pure. It's not a superficial relationship where it's, if Hashem gives you good, you say thank you. If Hashem gives you bad, you're like, oh Hashem, no, what's going on? Would you forget about me? So it's a real relationship that's has unlimited love, not only from Hashem to Rebbe, but from Rebbe to Hashem. So his son is telling you, listen, I've been in this family, I've been surrounded by tzaddikim, my father's giant, my grandfather's a giant, I come from a family full of rulers, full of rich people, full of people that are rich in wisdom and rich in material. People that are connected to the Malchut. And I'm telling you here something about dealing with these rulers that you have to take to the bank, because I have experience. You have to beware of these rulers, whether it's the Egyptians or the Syrians or the Spanish government, or it's the American government, or it's anyone. You have to beware of all of them, because they'll befriend someone only for their own benefit. They'll act friendly when it benefits them, and they're not going to stand by you if something happens. Now this, if you guys remember, this seems very, very similar. Sounds like it's, we've heard this before. We heard this on the 9th Mishnah, or the 10th Mishnah, by Shmaya and Avtalion. Shmaya said, Shmaya says, love work, despise position of power, and do not become overly familiar with government. So what Shmaya said several generations before Rabban Gamliel came to be seems relatively identical, but we always know that not only Hashem himself does not repeat the same thing for more than once for no reason. And of course his sages are gonna do the same thing that Hashem does. Despite them being limited human beings, obviously they have Ruach HaKodesh, they have prophecy, they have different types of holiness that Hashem gives them to be able to, every single one of these letters, every single one of these words, and of course every one of these sentences has a reason of its own. They're not going to repeat the same thing for no reason. So the Rashbats in Magen Avot which was a commentary on PirkeiAvot, says there's a big difference between this Mishnah and what Shmaya said. How is it? Shmaya said, listen, focus on the purpose of life. Purpose of life is to become a Talmid Chacham, to be a tzaddik, to serve Hashem, fulfill the Torah. It's not to be some president of the United States. It's not to be president of some big Jewish organization. Because in reality, we all know at the end of the day, everyone knows at some point in their life, whether it's at the beginning of their life, the middle of their life, or the day before they die, everyone at some point gets to a point where they realize Hashem runs the world. This is why in the hospice center, everyone wants the rabbi to come. They may be an atheist their whole life. The whole life they were an atheist, they even went against God, they even had websites against God and against rabbis, but hospice center, right before they die, oh rabbi, give me a blessing. Everybody became religious all of a sudden. Everybody becomes religious right before they die. So everyone knows at the end, God runs the world. So he's telling you, listen, God runs the world, let Him run the world. You focus on fulfilling what He told you. You have a Torah, learn it. You have a Gemara, learn it. You have Mishnah, learn it. You have mitzvot, do them. Don't look for any job to be a politician or anything like that. That's not for us. Let Hashem run the world. There's other people going to do it. You have a brain, you have a neshama, you do that. That's what Avtalion was telling you here, or Shmaya was telling you. He says, stay away from it, hate it, get away from it. And so much so, that don't even be friends with them. If you have people, they come to town, they want your votes, you say, oh, listen, why don't you host us in a bet knesset? And unfortunately, in today's day, some of these congregations, even Orthodox, obviously Reform and conservative, I don't really consider Jewish. They're not following the law. They're going against the Torah. So the problem with them is much bigger than this. But I'm talking about now the problem with modern Orthodox shuls that have modernized so much, where they're constantly battling a difficult battle, which is that the current generation is getting weaker and weaker, and you constantly have to convince people to stay in, to stay religious, to stay frugal. And unfortunately, many of them are making the mistake of using their own logic to convince people by telling them, listen, okay, you don't like Torah? Okay, so we'll bring, what do you like? You like politics? Okay, so we'll bring a politician from Israel to your Beit Knesset. You don't like the story about Moshe Rabbeinu, you don't like Yaakov Avinu, you don't like Yosef HaTzadik, fine. I'll bring you some scientists from Israel. You like Israel, right? You're a Jew, you like Israel, you're a Zionist? Okay, so we'll bring him to Beit Knesset on Shabbat. So you have this Zionist, or this politician, or this other guy, or this guy, coming to the shul and giving a speech on Shabbat. The problem is that where does it cross the line? It crosses the line when sometimes some of these people are not only saying things that are against the Torah, but their whole livelihood, their whole life in general is against the Torah. So much so that there was actually a synagogue I'm familiar with, HaShem Erachem. Rabbis, supposed to be Talmidim Chachamim, supposed to know a lot of stuff, learn Torah, I don't know, a million years they learned Torah, I don't know how many years they learned Torah their whole life. But on Shabbat, they brought a panel of speakers, 3 people to speak about supporting Israel, and great Israel, yeah, Israel, all that good stuff. Okay, so you have one guy is a Israeli businessman who succeeded inventing something. He invented something, I don't remember what he invented. I didn't go to the event, Baruch Hashem. He invented something, and he's like, whatever, he's some gvir in Israel. People think he's important. But the other 2, fine, he's a Jew. I don't know if he necessarily keeps mitzvot, but whatever, he's a Jew. The other 2 were Christians. But not just regular Christians. Not like the Christian that's like, hey, listen, we all have the same God. We just believe this guy's a Mashiach. The ones that are not trying to, intentionally do idol worship. They're nice people, they're just mistaken. No, we're not talking about that. They brought an evangelical Christian to an Orthodox shul, a modern Orthodox shul, on Shabbat, to give a lecture, to give a debate about why they support Israel, I'm thinking to myself, you idiots, you fools. Can't you read between, it's not even between the lines. Just go to the website of any evangelical Christian website. It's the highest, first of all, it's the highest level of Avodah Zarah. Highest level of Avodah Zarah. I have a student, HaShem, Ger Tzedek from Bulgaria, Tzaddik. I've told you guys a story about him. Emmanuel, God bless him, you know, his family in the past was a evangelical Christians. And he told me all these things about what they do. And some things I didn't even know. He tells me people, they pretend like they talk to angels and they talk to God. Everyone's a prophet. All these crazy things. You know, Torah says, someone is a false prophet, you have to kill him. Like someone comes, says, listen, Hashem told me ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, you know it's a lie, you have to kill him. Obviously in today's law we don't have Sanhedrin. But in the times of Moshe Rabbeinu, in the times of Sanhedrin, somebody comes, even as a joke, comes in, hey, yeah, he just spoke to God, he told me ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Whatever he told me, they know it's a lie, they kill him on the spot. No second chance. It's not a joke to say I talked to God. Which actually reminds me of this video I sent to everybody in the group yesterday. It's amazing. This Rasha, Muslim, some type of, I don't know, speaker, I don't know, I guess in the last few days, whenever it happened, the Hidabrut, a Jewish organization with Rabbi Zamir Cohen, posted this. Says, what happens when a Muslim speaker lies? So they see him, it's maybe a 10-second clip. And in the clip he says, when I was a kid, Muhammad came to me and he told me, kill the Jews, kill the Jews. And may this roof fall on top of me if I'm lying to you. Pach, the roof fell on his head. Live. The roof fell on his head. I sent you guys the video. If you guys didn't see it, you should see it. 10 seconds. I have people from all over the world like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, this doesn't necessarily always happen, but apparently Hashem wanted it to happen this time. So nonetheless, you have these evangelical Christians, they're complete idol worship. But they tell you, no, we're friends with Israel, we donate money, we support, they own a bunch of land. You know how much money they have? They're buying buildings, they're buying land, they'd buy the country if they could. If the government of Israel will allow them, they'd buy the country tomorrow. They pay you cash. No, we support Israel. And unfortunately we're fooled by it. Why? Because number one, we're thinking that they're friends. Oh look, the Goyim are friends. But anybody that spent even 5 seconds looking at the battle that we've had against them since the last 2,000 years, since this holiday of Chanukah. For 2,000 years we're fighting this battle because their whole goal is not to be our friends. Their whole goal is to convert us. Why do they like Israel? Why do they like the Jews? Because we're the perfect prey for them to convert us. They can't convert Muslims. Muslims will kill them. There's a few Muslims here and there that convert to Christianity, but in reality, you go to Saudi Arabia, go to Iraq, go to any of these Arab countries, tell them, no, we want you to convert, they'll murder all of them, they'll put all their heads on top of a pedestal. Convert us, were you crazy? Go to France, go to Muslim neighborhoods, which is pretty much half of France now. Tell them, no, we're the Christians, we're evangelical Christians, we're going to convert you, we'll give you money. First of all, the Arabs are going to say, we have more money than you. We own all the oil from everywhere. And on top of it, how dare you bring your idol worship to us? They'll kill all of them in the middle of the street, and the French police can't do anything about it. But us Jews, we invite them to the synagogue. We invite them to the synagogue. Well, we want to be friends, we want peace. Why can't we have peace with them? There's no peace. There's halacha in Shulchan Aruch. Esav sonei Yaakov. Esav hates Yaakov. It's halacha. This doesn't necessarily mean that every single goy is going to look to kill you. But in general, the powers that be, the political leaders, the overall people that are behind the scenes that are running the show, their goal is not to be your friend. Their goal is to take advantage of a situation. So, okay, maybe you don't want to necessarily go fight them head to head, make lectures about it or write posts about it, fine, you don't have to. But don't invite them to your shul. Because aside from the fact that they're lying to your face, telling you they like you, it's 100% idol worship. You're bringing an idol worshiper into your shul. What if one of the naive kids, 15, 16 years old, says, wow, this guy's such a nice speaker, like everybody said about Obama. Why do people vote for Obama? Why? Because of his political success? Before, he didn't have any political success. Whereas business success, he didn't have any business success. What did he have before he became president? No one knows. Nothing. Only president in history, no one knew anything about him. We only started asking questions after he was already president 4 years. Why did people vote for him? Oh, he was a good speaker. He's a good speaker. People are very, very moved by speakers. This is why in the previous Mishnah, a couple of weeks ago, he says that the Chachamim must be careful with their words, the words that come out of their mouth, because people are moved by it. So now what if you bring one of these Christians to your Beit Knesset, and he's like, no, we love Israel, we donate to this, we'll donate to your Beit Knesset too. We'll donate to your Beit Knesset, we'll donate to your cause, we'll donate to this. So the kids are like, wow, they're such generous people. Let me see if I can help them. I have my summer, I'm not working, I'm not going to school, let me go help the church. Because they're so nice, because in essence, he's thinking the 16-year-old kid, by helping the church, he's helping the Jews. 3 years later, he's 100% Christian. What are you going to do then? Convert him back? Convince him back? He doesn't want to look to you. He doesn't want to talk to you at all. It's like, look what we did for you. He's going to look at you like you're kfui tovai, like you're ungrateful. Look how much money we give you and how we help you and how we do this. Why are you putting Am Yisrael in jeopardy? Why are you putting Am Yisrael in danger? All of these partnerships between Jews and Christians are 100% against the Torah. I know that people are scared to go to war, people speak publicly about it and all that stuff, but listen, the reality is the Torah is the Torah. If you're afraid of man, don't speak. If you're afraid of God, speak. That's just the reality. You want to make partnerships with them for what? Where in history did they help us? Where, in the Holocaust? The Spanish Inquisition? With the Greeks? The Romans? Where? I'm not saying to hate them, I'm not saying fight them. I have some friends that are Christians. Nice people, great people. But I'm not going to invite them to a Beit Knesset to give a speech to a bunch of Jews about how much they love Am Yisrael, when I know that almost every week there's 1,000 Israelis are being converted in Israel right now. Over 1,000 Israelis almost every week are converting to Christianity every week. Every week. Over $300 million a year is spent in Israel by the Christian church to convert Israelis. So much so that they actually recruited these Reshaim Israelis that are Jews, that are making videos, high-level videos, like really top-quality videos, convincing the Jews that the Jews are lying. And really, we all have to go to Imach Shemo V'Zichro, J.C. Penney. And you have Israelis speaking Hebrew. Perfect Hebrew. They're Israelis, and they're Jews. But they're speaking to you now, they became Christian, they're all sophisticated aristocrats. You tell you, look, the rabbis are hiding this, and the rabbis are hiding that. And the reality of it is, the vast majority of people are ignorant. They don't know they're hiding this, they're hiding that. They don't know anything. Even if the guy's wearing a kippah, they have these videos. These sneaky people walking out. Look at this chapter in Isaiah 53, or look at this, or look at that. What does it say? And they tell the guy to read the verse literally. So doesn't that sound like somebody? First of all, you can't read the Torah. Anyone that knows anything about Torah, you can't read anything literally. That's not Sfat HaKodesh. Second of all, you can't read Torah without commentary. We're not at that level. Third of all, they are going to direct you where they want to by telling you, read one verse. They're not going to tell you, listen, read the whole chapter. Read the whole book. So just like you can take a 2-3 hour lecture that I make, you can take 3 minutes. In those 3 minutes, you can either make me look like Hitler himself, Or you can make me look like the greatest guy in the world. You can do 3 minutes of anybody's lecture. You're taking a small little bit, you can make whatever you want out of it. That's what they did to Rabbi Mizrahi. They took a 2-hour lecture, They took a 2-hour lecture, they cut like 2 minutes out of it, and all of a sudden Rabbi Mizrahi denies the Holocaust. Stupidity, nonsense. Nonsense. So, these people are just taking one verse and they're fooling ignorant people, and they make it seem like it's not ignorant people. Why? Because they're going to people that just, have this kippah on, so it looks like they're religious. First of all, just because somebody has a kippah on doesn't necessarily mean they know the whole Torah, or even half the Torah, or even 10% of the Torah. Second of all, most Jews, even if they went to yeshiva, don't study prophets. Don't study the writings. They don't study that stuff. They study the Chumash, and they study Gemara. Most of them have never read even Isaiah or Ezekiel. Most of them just don't read it. It's not part of the major part of curriculum. Not that it's not good, it's just that it's not as much of a foundation as the Gemara is. And when you read Gemara, when you finish the whole Shas, you'll go over the whole Tanakh. You'll eventually cover everything. But it's not easy to finish the whole Tanakh. It's not easy to finish the whole Gemara. It takes time. But these people, no, see, they're hiding this and they're hiding that, and they make it look like the rabbis are evil. They make it look like everyone's hiding this big thing. And these very same people, that there's actually Jewish organizations like Jews for Judaism, and organizations like it, are targeting to fight against them. What happens? Modern Orthodox people, or other synagogues, or even Reform and Conservative, what do? They invite them to shul. Come speak. Come speak. Come, we'll be friends. We'll make peace in the world. So much so, there's a Rasha, Reform rabbi, that came out with an article, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 years ago, whenever it was, and said that the reason for all problems in the world and all wars in the world is the Torah. He calls himself a rabbi. He says the whole reason why everyone's fighting is the Torah. People should value the Quran more. He calls himself a rabbi, Reform rabbi. It's the reason for the world, its problems is the Torah, we should value the Quran. Rabbi so-and-so. This is what he says. A dog is better than him. A dog that bites people on purpose is better than him. Because at least he's going to hurt one person at a time. So, now, Avtayon is telling you, my friend, all of these big churches, all of these political leaders, all of these mayors, all of these presidents, all of these people, stay away from them. Why? Because they have invested, they have an interest, they have a bias. You're going to get them the votes of the Jewish people in your area, they're your friend. You're going to get them the business of the diamond dealers, they're your friend. You're going to get them the technology in Israel that's unique and is challenging Silicon Valley now, they're your friend. You're going to get them Jewish business, friend. But as soon as we don't need you anymore, we put on our KKK masks with a couple of swastikas on it, and we're back to where we started. Which, by the way, anyone who doesn't follow this, the swastika in recent days has changed. You're going to see something that doesn't look like a swastika anymore, the Nazi swastika, Yimach Shemam V'Zichram. There's also a new type of swastika. It's a swastika you see as a tattoo on some Rishaim or different graffiti in different places. It looks like a square with two lines coming out of it. Like just imagine like a square, like a diamond type of square, and then it continues two lines out of it. It's looks like a, I don't know, I'll draw it for you in a few moments, but in general, they're in essence still around, these Nazis, and they just have a different mask on. Why are we mentioning all of this? Because Avtayon is already warning us over 2,000 years ago. Stay out of trouble. Focus on Torah. Focus on the purpose of life. Teach your kids Torah. Don't teach them secular studies. Yeah, but what about Parnassah? What if my son wants to do this? What if Hashem doesn't run the world? He's not going to give you Parnassah. Your son doesn't need to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or astronaut in order to make a living. He can survive. We've survived already for several thousand years. We're going to survive now. Don't throw him to the wolves thinking, oh no, he's going to be okay. A lot of kids are not going to be okay. Especially if you bring them to a synagogue that's going to constantly bring church leaders as guests. What are we doing here? Bring a dog to speak, it's better. At least the dog is not going to convince us to convert. The generation is weak. People don't know anything. People are motivated by money. They're motivated by material. They're motivated by women. They're motivated by things like that. And that's just the reality. If your kid is not like glued to HaShem and doesn't have a serious foundation of Yirat Shamayim, 2 seconds you could lose him. Nice Christian girlfriend, gone. Nice Christian boyfriend, gone. I have actually an employee, former employee of mine. Amazing, amazing person. We haven't been in touch in a few years. Amazing person, came from a relatively religious family. And really just an amazing person. She, well before I ever did tshuva, she would always, talk about, they would keep Shabbat, and all that stuff. Unfortunately, we connected on Facebook from thousands and thousands of people. Once in a while you get the updates. One day I see an update, Shem Rachem, she has an Arab boyfriend. New boyfriend, Muslim guy. What happened? What happened? Religious family. Religious family has a Muslim boyfriend. Wants to get married. Whole family is upside down now. How are we going to stop this? What stopped? You should have stopped it before it started. Has to do with the community. Has to do with the surroundings. Has to do with something. It's not, the kid doesn't wake up one day in the middle of yeshiva class. No, I want to go convert. I want to go intermarry. No, something happened. There's something rotten. So Shmaya is telling you already, it starts from the top. It starts from our leaders. It starts from our rabbi. It starts from our president. It starts from everybody. The ones that are running the show, the guys that are paying the bills. It starts from you, my friends. You keep trying to tell us that we're supposed to be at peace in today's day, as if we're no longer in the exile, as if the Mashiach already came. We should befriend everyone and not separate ourselves from them. Then you're going to have such an easy time seeing all your kids befriend all of the goyim, and little by little, a very easy time losing them. Shem Elachem. So, Shmaya is telling you this, come on, stay away. So now in this week's Mishnah, Rabban Gamliel is in essence trying to repeat the same thing. But what does the Rashbat say? He says, no, the difference here is in the beginning, he told you, stay away in the first place. Stay away. But if you can't stay away, like Mordechai. Mordechai in the story of Purim, Megiddat Esther, he didn't have a choice. They didn't say, listen, we're going to have a bunch of people we're going to vote for. You should put your name in the ballot. No. He's like, you, second in command. Because the guy before you almost killed everyone. Haman, Rasha. So we'll put you second in command. At least you can protect the Jews. The king is not Jewish. We're going to put the second in command as a Jew. You have a better chance of survival. Now, Mordechai didn't have a choice. But the Gemara Masechet Megillah, page 16b, says that when Mordechai actually became a leader and got involved in, he was already part of the Sanhedrin. He was number 4, in essence, in levels in the Sanhedrin. Number 4. After he became part of the government, he would drop the level to number 5. You would think, wait a minute, he's politically stronger. What's wrong? He's protecting Am Yisrael. He's in a position of power. Jews are not being killed because of him now. If a new Haman wants to come, he has to go through Mordechai first. Mordechai told him, no, go away. Look what happened to the last one. We hung him. He's going to protect him. No. Gemara says, Gadol Talmud Torah me'atzalat nefashot. The study of Torah is even greater than saving lives. Meaning the fact that Mordechai became a political leader didn't help his relationship with Hashem. Even though it was for Shema, it was to help Am Yisrael, it's to save lives. He says, no, Hashem runs the world. Hashem runs the world, you can save it without you. It was better off you stay in a Sanhedrin. If it wasn't written in the Gemara, I wouldn't be able to say something. So people have to understand, everybody wants to be a politician, wants to be this, I want to help Am Yisrael, I want to help this, I want to help that. You don't need to, Hashem runs the world. Hashem runs the world. But the Rashbat says, okay, if you can't hold yourself, if you're already there, you're forced to be a politician, forced to be in a position of power, fine, then at least listen to this. Start off with the teachings of Rabban Gamliel of beware of these rulers. Meaning, keep yourself at a distance. Don't be BFFs with them. Don't have coffee with them every other day for fun. If you have a meeting because there's a war, you have a meeting because there's a strike, you have a serious reason, go meet them, do what you gotta do, and leave. Don't go to vacation with them. Don't hang out with their families and have your kids play together. No. You have to beware of them. Why? Because you have to realize that your relationship is only out of convenience. They only have a relationship with you because you're the one that can help them do whatever they want to do. You can help them achieve their goal. And this is coming from Rabban Gamliel. And where is he getting this from? He's getting this from his father, Rebbe. His father, Rebbe. His chavruta was Antoninus, the Caesar, the head guy in Rome, top guy, number one. Called the king. I think they call it Caesar, but he called the king. It's the same thing. Marcus Aurelius Antoninus is what they call it in English. The Gemara calls it Antonitus. But anyway, they had a very, very special chavruta that started from the time that they were born. His father, Rabban Gamliel, also called Rabban Gamliel, same thing like his son, Rabban Gamliel Gadol. In the time of Rebbe was born, there was a gzerah, there was a decree by the wicked Romans that you're not allowed to do Brit Milah. Not allowed to learn Torah, not allowed to do Brit Milah. They tried to eliminate Judaism. Rabban Gamliel had a son, Yehuda, little 8-day-old baby. What is he going to do? He gives him Brit Milah. Of course, there's always a Rasha looking at everyone and waiting for them around the corner. Sometimes it's a Jew, sometimes it's a Gentile. There's always a Rasha somewhere. And Hashem sends them to test us, to see what we're going to do. It's not that the Rasha exists upon by himself. Hashem sends them to test us. This was not even a test for Rabban Gamliel. Why? Because he knows who runs the world. So the Rasha comes, hey, you went against the king, I'm arresting you. Okay. Rabban Gamliel is the head of the Jews. He's an important person. So they can't insult him, abuse him. It has to be an orderly way of how to bring him, treat him with respect until they kill him. That's the goal. So now, before he gets to the king, they have to travel. Eventually, before they get to the king, it's a long road, long travel. Eventually, they get there, and before they meet him the next day, they're going to have him stay at one of the king's family members' houses. And they stay there, and the wife of the Baal Habayit, of the owner of the house, sees his wife, sees Rabban Gamliel's wife crying. Why are you crying? She says, look at my baby. What did he do? They're going to kill him tomorrow. And the Roman woman says, why are they going to kill him? What did he do? She says, oh, because he's a Jew. She goes, what do they care if he's a Jew? He goes, oh, because, they don't like us. He goes, how do they even know if he's a Jew? He says, well, because we did Brit Milah. Look, we cut the foreskin. He goes, oh, that's how they can identify? She goes, yeah. She goes, you know what? I also had a baby. Same time. Same age. Also, he's only a week old. 2 weeks old by now. Why don't you take my baby? Because all babies look alike. Take my baby and show it to the king. And he's going to see a baby doesn't have a foreskin cut off. So think that they lied. So Rabban Gamliel's wife says, only under one condition. You give me a condition? Saving the boy's life, you're going to give me a condition? She goes, yeah, one condition. What? Don't breastfeed my son. Don't breastfeed your son. I'm doing you a favor here. You said, don't breastfeed. Okay, don't breastfeed. He goes, yeah, because it's our tradition that Ami says only allowed to drink kosher milk from their mothers. From Jews. Don't breastfeed my son. Just think about this emunah. That she's trying to save her kid's life and she's giving her conditions. How else we would already be writing checks? Oh, how much do you want? What's for this? We got to clean your house, cook for you. She's giving her conditions. So this is what happens. Gemara says, it continues, they bring the Roman boy as if he's a Jew. The king sees it, he goes, what is this? You brought my dear friend, the Honorable Rabban Gamliel, all the way here for no reason? Saying that he's did a Brit Milah, went against me? There's no Brit Milah. He killed the Rasha. Disgrace a big person. Even though he's not a Roman, he's a big person, he's important. They had respect. They killed the Rasha. But now, they come back to pick up their boy. And they want to take Yehuda, who later becomes Rabbi Yehuda. So thank you very much, you saved our son. She goes, yeah, but I have one thing I want to, in return. Oh, anything you need. She goes, I want you to breastfeed my son. You breastfeed your son? Why? She goes, because it seems like you're so connected to your God that you were scared, you would rather your son die than have something unholy. Which means that what you have is really holy. And I want that for my son. So she breastfed her son. And her son later on became Antonitus, Marcus Aurelius. And Rabban Gamliel's son who became Rabbi Yehuda. And they were chavruta. They learned together. So much so that Antonitus actually had a cave made directly from his castle to Rebbe's house. So you could sneak in under the every night to go learn with him every night. And what he would do, the Gemara says that he would take 2 soldiers with him. One of them he would kill as soon as he got out, and the other one he would kill on the way back. And the reason why, because he didn't want to have any witnesses to know that he's learning with Rebbe. If his people knew that he's learning Torah, they'd kill him. So this is what he did for years, and they say eventually he converted according to the Gemara. And as a matter of fact, there's some major parts, major arguments, debates between Rebbe and Antonitus. He's a big Talmid Chacham. And he actually, Rebbe said that he beat him in a few debates. So, such is the extent of something holy. But last but not least, Antonitus also knew the truth. Even though he was in a political position of power, a top position, he knew that the Jews are the chosen people. And he knew that Rebbe and his Torah was the holiest thing there is. And every night, before the night would be over, he would go on all fours, and he would tell Rebbe, climb on me to go to your bed. And Rebbe said, no, it's not the right honor for a king. He goes, I wish I had the honor of the Torah that you had. Your Torah is much more valuable than my kinghood, my Caesarhood, whatever it is. Kingship. So, we have a son that tells us, listen, despite the relationship that my father had, Chavuta, with the former Caesar, I'm telling you from experience that as soon as my father died, they didn't look at me the same way. The relationship wasn't the same anymore. Antonitos died, my father died, relationship is over. That's it, no more. Now it's new relationship. Now it's between me and the new guy. It's not the same thing. You could say that. What is it like? In this week's parasha, Parashat Vayeshev, we have the whole story of how the 12 tribes, Yaakov's 12 sons, got upset, got jealous, all types of reasons at Joseph, and eventually sold him. Originally they wanted to kill him, but Reuven said, don't kill him, let's sell him, and they sold him. Chazal explains, anyone that thinks that Yosef was sold because of just pure jealousy has got it wrong. He went through this whole tikkun, to this whole punishment for a few reasons. The basic reason is because this was one of the ways that HaShem is going to make it look natural for Am Yisrael to eventually go into Egypt. But a bigger reason was because he spoke against his brothers. Even though he was trying to do it for Shema, he was trying to do it to help them when he saw certain things that they were doing didn't look kosher, he didn't do it the right way, and the fact that he spoke against each one of them, 10 of them, he didn't speak against his own, Benjamin, spoke against 10 of them, he got a year in jail for each one. But now initially Joseph is sold, he goes to the home of Potiphar. Potiphar sees this beautiful young kid, and later on we see in the Torah, and actually in next week's parasha, Parashat Miketz, that Potiphar is called Potifera. Why is his name changed? Why did they add a at the end of his name? Because Potiphar became homosexual. But his wife, before he became homosexual, was known as one of the most beautiful women that ever lived. So now he gave this position of power to Yosef, run his business. All of a sudden Yosef starts running the business. Potiphar sees that anything he gives this kid to do, succeeds. He gives them ashes, turns them to gold. He gives him gold, turns it to platinum. Everything he does turns to gold. Everything works out. So Potiphar is just sitting and relaxing. But then one day, Potiphar's wife, according to Chazal, they say that she wanted to do it for Shema, she wanted to do it for a good reason, because she saw in a dream that the descendants of Yosef are going to come from his, are going to be very holy people and so on. So she wanted that to come from her. So she tried coming on to him, and despite being so beautiful, Yosef kept his eyes shut, kept his mind closed, and kept a straight neshama, and didn't fall. But eventually, the woman got upset, and a scorned woman is nothing to mess with. He got thrown in jail. So now he's in jail for 10 years. And it's not like the jail that's like Taj Mahal today. In those days, when they have a jail, it's like they dig a hole in the ground. It's like Gehenom is jealous of this jail. That's the type of jail they put these people in. So, Yosef, a tzaddik, beautiful, very fragile, very righteous, very holy. Who is he surrounded by? Murderers, rapists, all the worst people on earth, and then you put him over there with them. 10 years, not 1 day or 2 days. Me just thinking about it, honestly, since I'm starting to having a little nausea, just thinking about this jail. He's there for 10 years. Finally, Hashem sends him salvation. He sends these two people that the Paro threw in jail, the chamberlain of the cupbearers, and the baker, chamberlain of food. He throws both of them in there, and they both have a dream. And Yosef tells them, this is the interpretation of the dream. The baker is going to die, but the cupbearer is going to go back to even a better position than he had before. Great. Everything is fine. So now Yosef became in essence the leader of the jail. Got a top position in jail. Everybody comes to him, asks him for advice, asks him for translating dreams. Great. And then he makes the mistake of his life. What's the mistake? He tells the chamberlain of the cupbearers, he goes, listen, when you go back to your position, remember me. Tell Paro that I shouldn't be here. Tell Paro that I'm here. And Hashem punished him for it. In essence, according to Chazal, the salvation was supposed to happen right there and then. Meaning, he was supposed to translate their dreams. Paro was supposed to have his dream right that day. And the next day, Yosef HaTzadik was supposed to come out to go translate the dream for Paro. But because Yosef at his level told the chamberlain of cupbearers, listen, tell Paro, like in essence asking man for help instead of asking Hashem for help, doing more ishtadlut than he's supposed to do. Hashem said, oh, you said 2 words, I'll punish you for 2 more years. He's not going to have the dream for another 2 years. So now at the end of this week's parasha, the last verse of this parasha, it says, velo zachar sar mashkim et Yosef v'ishkachehu. Yet the chamberlain of the cupbearers did not remember Joseph, but he forgot him. Meaning, so chamberlain of the cupbearers gets out, just like Yosef said is going to be in his dream. He gets out, he gets his job, he's BFFs with Paro again. He has his job, he has his money, he has his house, he has everything. But all of a sudden, the guy that helped him get out in the first place, all of a sudden, he forgot about him. He was BFFs with Joseph just a few days ago, when it was convenient for him. When it's convenient for him, hey, can you help me out? Sure. As soon as it was a time to return the favor to Joseph, forgot. Forgot. I don't remember. Forgot. He doesn't remember and he forgot. It means the same thing. It says it twice here. See that? It's a forgetting out of convenience. Forgetting a little bit out of intention. Not forgetting like he doesn't remember what happened 2 days ago. Even if you don't remember exactly every single detail of what you did this morning, you remember basically what happened. Remember, basically, I ate omelet. What'd you have in the omelet? I don't remember what was in the omelet, but I remember I ate an omelet. What'd you do after that? I went to work. How long did it take you to work? I don't know how long it took me to work. Maybe an hour, maybe 2. I don't know. It took me. I went to work though. I know that. What'd you do at work? I did some stuff at the computer. What'd you do on the computer? I don't know what I did, but I know I was on the computer. That's what I do every day for the last 30 years. I'm on the computer. That's what I did. So even if you don't remember the details, you know basically what happened. Here all of a sudden it says you forgot, you didn't remember. It requires a little effort to forget and not remember. Why? Because it's not convenient for him to remember this Jew that's in the jail over there. I don't want him to come here and remind everybody I was in jail. It's embarrassing for me. I'm the cupbearer. I'm important now. Can't tell people I was in jail. It's not a good history. So already we see here, the Rabban Gamliel is telling you, listen, this already happened to my father, Rabbi. As soon as he died, as soon as Antonitos died, they forgot. The relationship between us and the Romans now are not exactly the same. Shortly later we see the Romans are going to destroy the Bet HaMikdash. But this is not the beginning. This is not the beginning. So you go back to this week's parasha, hundreds of years before this, It already happened with Yosef HaTzadik for Potiphar. Potiphar was happy until he wasn't happy. Threw Yosef out in the garbage. Threw him in jail, go die. Then cupbearer and Yosef again. Same guy, Yosef, supposed to get released. Again, forget about him. Then eventually, next week's parasha, Yosef becomes the viceroy. After 2 years, Parashat Miketz, Hashem says Miketz means the end. The end of the punishment. The end of the punishment, meaning that on that very day, he had the dream, on that very day that the punishment ended, they brought Yosef all the way from the bottom, he became the viceroy the same day. From the bottom of the barrel, he went to the top. Meaning, Yeshuat Hashem ke'eref ayin. The salvation of Hashem comes faster than the blink of the eye. When Hashem wants to give you salvation, it's not going to come to you in a natural way. Don't think, oh, listen, I made all this money and then I lost it. It's over the next 5 years I lost this money. It's going to take me 20 years to make it back. Oh, I lost this relationship. I worked on it for 15 years, 20 years this relationship. Who knows if I'm ever going to find one. Oh, I lost this. It's going to take so long. Everybody thinks that things are supposed to happen over time. When Hashem is good and ready to give you your salvation, it can all happen instantly. Instantly, love at first sight. Instantly, you have all the money in the world. And it doesn't have to come from the lotto. There's plenty of ways Hashem can give you money. Ways that you're never going to think of. Instantly, whatever you've wanted for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, eventually Hashem says yes. Hashem says yes. Someone came to the Rabbi Ponovich. He said, I pray every day. But Hashem is not responding to my prayer. So Rabbi Ponovich says, no, he is responding. He goes, no, but I didn't get anything. He goes, exactly. He says, no. That's the response. He said, no. You wanted this. He says, no. Or maybe you didn't pray enough. If your prayers are not being answered, it's one of two reasons. One, Hashem is clearly saying no, just like He said to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, Parashat Vayitchanan, prayed 515 times to come into Eretz Yisrael. Hashem says, Havlach, enough, don't pray anymore. I don't want you to come in. No. But what did He say? He could have just said no. Why did He stop? Could have just said no. He said, Havlach, enough. Why? Because in reality, Hashem is telling you, if you pray enough, eventually I'll say yes. If you pray enough, I'll say yes. Moshe Rabbeinu prayed 515 times. Hashem said, stop. Why? Because if you pray 516 times, I have to say yes. And it's not good for you for me to say yes. Because I don't want you to. Just because you want doesn't mean it's good. Hashem knows better. Kol de'avid rachamana, tav la'avid. Rabbi Akiva en Masechet Brachot says, everything that the merciful one does is always for the best. Not that it's just good. His rabbi, Rabbi Akiva's rabbi, said, Gam zu l'tova. This too is for the good. Well, you got a flat tire, it's good for the good. You broke a finger, it's for the good. You lost your job, it's for the good. You lost millions of dollars, it's for the good. Gam zu l'tova. Rabbi Akiva says, not only for the good, it's for the best. Everything he does is the best. Meaning, it's a higher level. Why? This for the good, this for the good, this for the good is obviously amazing. If we could just live like that, we'd be the happiest people in the world. But Rabbi Akiva is saying, Hashem has an infinite amount of ways to take you from point A to point B. If you want to go from here to New York, you could take a plane, you could take several planes. You could take Delta, you could take JetBlue, you shouldn't take Spirit, it's a very small airplane. You could take this one, you could take private, you could take public, you could take a bicycle, you could take a car, you could take a chopper, you could swim there if you want. I can't swim, though you could swim if you want. You can do a lot of ways you can go there. You could drive with a Mazda, you could drive with a Ferrari. There's a lot of different ways you can get from point A to point B. Just like, L'avdil, Hashem can take you from point A to point B in a lot of different ways. But for Him, it's infinite. The only way that He picks is the best possible way. Meaning that whatever is happening in your life, whatever Hashem allows to happen in your life is the best possible outcome that could possibly be. Even when it looks like an outright punishment. Even the punishment is for your best. So somebody says, wait a minute. You were sick for 7 years, 8 years, suffering, horrendous, lost money, friends became enemies, Shem HaShem, crying, wanting suicidal, everything, worse things on, worse things. Tell me that's for the best? Not only is the best, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because I know just one simple explanation. There's many, many reasons. One simple explanation is that if all of that craziness didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. I'd still be on Wall Street, wasting my life away. And then eventually wake up when Hashem takes me out of this world and I have to pay the bill forever. Oh, Mechalel Shabbat, Mut Yumat, and Shem HaShem, and all these things. What good is that money going to do for me? What good is the fame going to do for me in this world? Only thing it's going to do is go against me. That's one simple explanation. There's many, many other ones. So Hashem is going to put you through a road that sometimes doesn't look that good. It looks like you're suffering, it looks like you're struggling, it's tough, it's this, it's that. But trust me when I tell you, it's already written in the Torah, it's already written in the Gemara, it's written everywhere. Everything that happens is always the best. Just give it time and you will see it. Just like you want Hashem to give you the benefit of the doubt, to give you more time to finish your tshuva, because you're still making sins. But Hashem punished you every time you made a sin, you wouldn't survive a week. If every time we made a sin, Hashem smashed us on the head, we wouldn't survive. But we say, listen, Hashem, I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to keep Shabbat 150%. I'm ready 90%. I have some problems with the phone, I have some problems with the light, I have some problems with the cooking is not exactly 100% this. I have a few things. I don't know all the halachot yet. It's going to take me time. Or, someone has talak mishpacha problems. They go to mikveh, Baruch Hashem. Yeah, they go to mikveh. But, during the time when they're not pure, they still, hold hands with the husband. Still hold hands with the husband. Not allowed to hold hands. Not allowed to sleep in the same bed. But it's hard for them. It's hard. Not like this woman that contacted me a few days ago. She, Baruch Hashem, is trying to do tshuva, but unfortunately, her husband is a rasha. And he says, not only he doesn't want to do tshuva, which is, it's his business, but on top of it, he doesn't want her to do tshuva. Meaning, he says, I don't agree that you're going to keep talat mishpacha. If you separate from me for half the month, 12, 13 days out of the month, I'm going to go with another woman. I'm going to go with another woman. He's telling this to his wife. He's not even pretending. He's not even faking it. Tell you, go to the mikveh, do all the things, fine, I'm going to go with another woman. Days of Sunday, they'd hang him just for saying something like that. So me, I get upset when I hear husbands that are like that. But at the same time, you have to look, what's the halakha? What's the halakha? So she asks me, okay, so listen, so I'm not going to be with him during, when I actually have the period. I can hold out that much, but maybe I don't have to wait the 7 clean days. Maybe I can just wait 2 days. According to halakha, if you're with him during those days, that intimate relationship restarts everything. Meaning, you have to restart the count. If you were, let's say, with him on the 2nd day, first of all, you have to clean yourself. And second of all, you have to start counting all over again. New 7 days. New 7 days. You have a serious problem here. You were with your husband when you were technically not pure. So then the next question is, okay, fine, but so 1 week I can hold up, but for 2 weeks of the month I can't do it. He's going to leave me, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. What's the halakha? Halakha says, divorce him. It's the minimum requirement of being married is keeping family purity. Even if he violates Shabbat, even if he eats not kosher, even if he's wicked beyond wicked. If he's all that, eventually you can help influence him. Eventually maybe he's going to do tshuva. But if he's not allowing you to keep talat mishpacha, there's no marriage. divorce him. That's, to me, shocking, because in Judaism, divorce is like a bad word. Nobody says divorce. It says, no, if you're not willing to let you keep talach mishpacha, there's nothing there. There's no foundation. There's nothing. It's all he's going to do is get you to go first class ticket to Gehenom. For what? So, somebody gets a test like this. It's a very, very difficult test. HaShem says, trust me, you'll pass the test. Even if it ends up in divorce, even if it ends up with problems at home, even all of these things, you trust me, eventually I'll get you out of this. I'll get you into something better. Your road is going to be shaky, it's going to be bumpy. But I promise you, the end, the destination, you're never going to regret. The only thing you're going to regret is you didn't do it faster. Just wait till you get to the destination. Be patient, you get the destination. So now, we have ourselves Rabban Gamliel telling us, you have to understand something very, very important. All of these leaders, all of these people, they haven't worked out for us very good. Look at my father, look at Yosef Tzaddik with Potiphar, look at Yosef Tzaddik with the cupbearer, and it didn't end there. It didn't end there. Because then he became Pa'o, became second in command. And what does it say in the first book of Exodus, Parashat Shmot? ויקם מלך חדש על מצרים אשר לא ידע את יוסף. And a new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph. Now Joseph at this point built Egypt. Egypt was like, nice little place. They had a few bucks to their name. They were like Florida. Joseph made them into the U.S. He turned them from nothing into everything. Became friends with Paro. His whole family came in there. They built cities. They built this. They built that. He made them wealthy. The entire world had to pay taxes to Egypt, thanks to Joseph. And all of a sudden you have next generation, the new Paro, doesn't remember Joseph. How do you not remember him? Your people worship him.
They didn't keep a record. So.
No, the people, they hid his tomb. His tomb, because they felt that Joseph was so holy, they hid his tomb inside the Nile River. And they would worship the Nile River with the tomb in it. They made him into a god. So what do you mean? All of a sudden, all your people are saying he's God. You don't remember him?
Yeah.
So no. Conveniently forgetting. Why? Because they're getting too powerful. Well, let's fool these people. Let's fool these Jews, these Israelites, before they become even more powerful than us. Because at the end of everything, we're the Egyptians. They're here in our country. We're not in their country. Let's fool them. So I'll pretend like I don't remember this guy Joseph. Like, who, Joseph? Who, Joseph who? We had a couple of Josephs in the family. Pretends. So again, leadership forgot. It's not the last time though. Fast forward, Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu grew up in Pharaoh's house. Even though Pharaoh didn't exactly love the Jews already from this parasha, but Moshe Rabbeinu was like a son. All of a sudden, Moshe Rabbeinu kills an Egyptian as if it's the first Egyptian that ever died. Oh, go find Moshe and kill him. This wasn't enough. This continues. Generation after generation with the Romans, with the Greeks. This whole holiday that we have coming up in a few days, Hanukkah, what happened? What happened is that a bunch of Jews decided to become Reform. A bunch of Jews decided to become mityavnim. Mityavnim means they wanted to become Greek. The Greek said, listen, we don't really care about all the things that you do. Just come join us. Stop with your nonsense religion. We'll give you money. We'll give you political power. You won't even have to work. What, you're a shoe salesman now? We'll make you president of the school. Teach people that God left. He created the world and then he left. Let's make you the president of the school. You're a dressmaker. We're going to make you president of the university. To teach people. I'm going to have to hang up because people are talking. It's distracting me. Whoever is talking, you have to stop because it's very, very distracting and I have this phone on speaker. Actually, you know what? Maybe I could get it off speaker, so maybe that would actually work. It's very annoying. People don't understand how difficult it is to give a lecture. You have to stay focused. I don't have a script, so we'll try it this way. So now you have yourself Jews wanting to become Reform. They became Reform. Stop keeping the laws. They don't like the oral Torah, they like the written Torah. They don't know, written Torah is nice. Nice stories, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron. Yeah, everything's fine. Okay, what about the oral Torah? What about actually knowing how to keep Shabbat? You go, no, it just says Shabbat. Don't light fire. Okay, so we won't light fire. Okay, but you're driving a car. No, a car is not exactly fire. Actually, it is. It's 6,000 fires. You just don't see it. The same fires you light in the woods. It's a different form of fire. And people are starting to cut different parts of the mitzvot, make it their own, and little by little, they replace the kippah with a smaller kippah, and a smaller kippah, and a smaller kippah, and eventually becomes a little quarter, and the quarter falls off, they put it in their pocket. Then they're embarrassed of the quarter. Or they replace it with a baseball hat, because they don't want anyone to know that they're Jewish. And a tzitzit first goes inside, then it goes on the shelf, then it goes in the closet, then it goes in a drawer, then it goes in the attic, and eventually you throw it out. And a tefillin, instead of using it 6 days a week, now it goes down to 3, then 2, then once a month, then, whenever I get a chance. Instead of going to the kollel, or to yeshiva, or to yeshua Torah, you go to the movies. Let's go watch X-Men. Let's go watch Fast and the Furious. Let's go watch all those movies. Why? It's not so bad. It all starts small. Reminds me of a story that my mom told me. There's one time, there's a guy comes, knocks on the door of a rich person's house. 9 o'clock at night. Rich guy is trying to relax. Who's knocking on my door at 9 o'clock at night? He sees this simple looking guy. He goes, what do you want? He goes, I want to buy your house. He goes, it's not for sale. He goes, no, I don't want to buy the whole house. I don't have money for your whole house. I just want to buy room for my nail. The guy looks at him, what? Nail, I have one nail. I have a nail. I want to put it in your house. Just give me the space for what that nail is. He goes, do me a favor. Get away from me, you and your nail. I don't have time for this. He goes, no, listen. I'm going to give you $1,000 just to let me put the nail in your wall. The guy's rich. And Gemara says you give somebody 100, he wants 200. You give him 200, he wants 400. Give him 400, he wants 800. Meaning the more someone has, the more he has a desire for more. Meaning that the guy that has 1,000, his desires for another 1,000. The guy that has 1,000,000, his desires for another 1,000,000. Meaning he feels like he's lacking more. He needs more, the guy that has $1 million. So the guy's thinking, listen, he has a $10 million house. This guy's going to give me another 1,000. It's good, it adds to my collection. I want more money. What do I care? Put a nail in a huge house. 10 rooms in the house, I'm going to give him a nail. What do I care about the nail? I don't even see the nail. Okay, fine, give me the 1,000. And he gives him 1,000. He's like, where can I put it? He's like, anywhere you want, just pick a place. So the regular looking guy comes, looks, he picks spot right next to the stairs, tuck, puts the nail, thank you very much, here's the contract, we signed a contract, goodbye. Guy's like, wow, who's better than me? And now I have, not only I have this nail that I'm probably never going to see, but on top of it I have another $1,000. I'm a genius. I can't wait to tell this to all my friends that I was so smart, I made money even off of a nail. $1,000 off a nail. So he's happy, he goes to sleep now. The next day, at 1 o'clock in the morning, he knocks on the door. Knocking on my door at 1 o'clock in the morning. Opens the door, goes, sees the guy again. He goes, what do you want? He goes, no. Sorry to bother you, but my hat. I want to put my hat on the nail. What? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. He couldn't come to me. He goes, no. The hat needs to go on the nail now. I don't need it anymore. I'm going to go home. But I don't want to put my hat in my house. Maybe it's going to get ruined in my house. It's dirty and everything else. I want to put my hat. Your house is clean. And my nail is clean. So I want to put my hat on the nail. It's my nail. He goes, okay. No, come on. Put the hat on the nail. Goes to sleep. Next day, 1:30 in the morning. No, what do you want? My jacket. I don't need it. It's hot tomorrow. I just saw the news. Tomorrow's going to be very hot. I'm not going to need my jacket. I want to put my jacket on the nail. Because you couldn't come at 9 o'clock at night or at 7 o'clock. Like the first day you came at 9. Couldn't come at a normal hour. You go, no, I need it. I was working all day. I was very, very busy. I couldn't come till now. Because no. Third day, 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning. No, what do you want now? You guys, has cobwebs on his eyes, waking up in the middle of the night. What do you want? What do you want? He goes, I want my hat. Off the nail. He goes, that's it, I can't do it. No more, you can't come into this house. He goes, what do you mean, no, I have a contract. I have a contract, look, I have a contract. You signed, this is my nail. It's my... He goes, no, sue me. He goes, okay. So they go to court. And the judge says, listen, you have a contract, it's his nail. You sold it, $1,000. You have to open the door whenever he knocks, and you have to let him use the nail. Oh, HaShem, the guy, the rich guy, every night at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, all throughout the day, put the hat on, put the hat off. Put the jacket on, put the jacket off. Let me scratch my back with the nail. Let me just look at the nail. Let me put a picture on the nail every day. After 2 weeks, he says, listen, take your nail, take the house. I'm out of here. That's the mashal. That's the mashal. That's the parable. What's the nimshal? What do we learn from here? The Yetzer Hara is the same thing. Yetzer Hara comes to you and says, listen, he's not going to tell you, listen, go cheat on your wife. Not the first thing. They're going to tell you, listen, go cheat on your husband. Not the first thing. He says, let's watch a show on TV. Let's watch, I don't know, one of these, whatever shows are on TV. Let's watch Desperate Housewives or something. Let's watch a show on TV. Instead of learning Torah, instead of watching Shiur Torah, instead of coming to Shiur Torah, let's watch a show for a half hour only. Half hour, what's the big deal? It's a nail. Half hour. So you watch a show on TV. And you see the woman on TV, it's like, the guy looks at the woman, she looks perfect because she's a movie star, and he looks at his wife, and she's Tisha B'Av, she's in her pajamas, and he looks at the woman on TV, he looks at his wife, and he really believes in his heart he can get the woman on TV. Every guy thinks he can get the woman on TV. Yeah. Next day, He's still thinking about this woman on TV. And he sees, all of a sudden, he sees new employee in the office. The jacket. New employee in the office, new secretary. Oh, let me show her around. Be nice, what? Chesed, show her the Jews are good people. Show her around. Show her around town. Maybe she's from Oklahoma, now she's in New York. She doesn't know her way around, poor girl. So let me show her around. So he's trying to be a tzaddik. Show her around. Look, this is the office, this is the printer. This is the office of the boss that could fire both of us if he knew that we were talking. This is the picture of my wife who would slaughter me if she knew I was talking to you. Well, shows the things. Oh, she's still alive? No, she's not alive anymore. Don't worry. Oh, what's the wedding ring? No, that's not. That's just for looks. It's for looks. It's for looks. That's the jacket. Next day, this girl doesn't have any friends. Doesn't have anybody. Who she have? You. You with the payers and the hat and everything. So what she said? You want to go for lunch? And the meeting goes from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. HaShem Yilachem, HaShem Yilachem. It starts as a nail. Starts a little movie, little commercial. Shortly later, you gave him the whole house. Which means your whole shlom bayit is gone, your whole marriage is gone, your kids are going to hate you, HaShem is going to hate you. You just destroyed your life. Why? You started with a TV show. Half hour. What's the big deal? It's just a nail. That's what Chazal is telling us. If the evil Satan comes to you, drag him to the Bet Midrash. Drag him to go learn Torah. It's the only way you're going to get away from it. Only way you're going to survive. The atomic bomb like that is by learning Torah on a regular basis. But when you put yourself in constant danger, you already lost the war. So Rabban Gamliel is telling us, listen, we had all of history, my father, my great-great-grandfather, Moshe Rabbeinu, Yosef HaTzadik, even Yitzchak, Avimelech kicked him out, then took him back. This goes back all the way to the beginning. And he said, no, but that's a long time ago. Come on, Kvod Harav, it's 3,000 years ago. Leave us alone already with this stuff. Okay, let's go faster. Let's go sooner. Let's go back 500 years. 1492. 1492, you had Dan Yitzchak Abarbanel. Abarbanel was the treasurer of the King Ferdinand and Isabella. Treasurer, he's control of all the money. Pretty much usually the most important person on earth. Controls the money. No money, everything fails. At least in this world. And he enabled Spain with his wisdom that HaShem gave him. He enabled Spain to finance getting back their country from the Muslim people. He put the country back on the map. They got back control because of what he did. But all of a sudden, King's like, okay, so I don't need you anymore. I don't need the Jews anymore. The Jews helped us build our economy now. We don't really need it. Okay, our economy's good now.
Out.
Good luck. Goodbye. In a moment, Abarbanel, despite all of his pleas not to kick them out, not to do all of these things, in a moment, his huge service, all of the years of work, all of the effort, all of the friendship, everything in a matter of moments became worthless. And the ungrateful employees that he had turned their backs on him and on his people. In 1492, gone. Not enough. Just go even, more recent than that. You go back into our grandparents' generation. Nazi Germany. Before Nazi Germany became Nazi Germany, it was just Germany. And who put them on the map? The Jews. The Jews built their economy. Germany was the most powerful country in the world at one point. Much more powerful than America, much more powerful than everyone, because they had the most amount of money. It was the America of its day. And it was on top of politics, business. Jews. Jewish people built it. And took over the country's top positions. Eventually, this wasn't exactly welcomed anymore, because Hashem said, listen, I gave you money, I gave you power, I gave you everything you want, but what do? You use all of it against me. I gave you money, so you go buy a car to drive on Shabbat.
Yeah.
I gave you beauty, so you go cheat on your husband. I gave you beauty, so you go intermarry with someone else. I gave you arms, you use them to steal. I gave you eyes, you look in places you're not supposed to. I gave you a brain, you use it to cheat people. Everything I gave you, you use it against me. Okay, it's khalas, enough, not giving you anymore. But when Hashem stops giving, it's not like we stop giving. So now, the Germans all of a sudden want to vomit us. But not vomit us and just like go away. They want to exterminate us, Hashem Yirachem. That's what they tried to do. So all of a sudden, the places we were leaders, we actually put, the Jews, actually put Hitler in power. We voted for him. Even though he wrote in his book that one of his missions is to destroy Jews. No one don't want to take him seriously. No, it's not serious. I'm German, I'm not really Jewish. I'm not keeping. Everyone thinks that just because they're not keeping and they're friends with the politicians, everything's fine. No, I'm not like, the religious guy. I'm just whatever. My parents are Jews. I'm not connected to it. Who's the first person that died? Those people. So now, this has happened time and time and time again. I'm no prophet. I'm not even the shoe of a prophet. But I can tell you one thing for sure. The amount of trust and comfort that American Jews have should be uncomfortable for everybody. The amount of faith that Jews have in America doesn't necessarily look that good based on our history. Listen, today America is our friend. If Hillary was a president, they wouldn't exactly be our friend anymore. Oh, Hashem had mercy on us, and He's giving us some more time to do tshuva. But the fact that everybody's so excited, Trump's going to go in, Trump is this, Trump is friend, Trump is that. Okay, Trump promised a bunch of things before he became president. But as soon as he becomes president, his free choice is no longer his. Hashem takes over. And Hashem will move him like a puppet, wherever He wants him to. If He wants to have Am Yisrael prosper, He'll prosper. If He wants Am Yisrael to suffer, Hashem Yirachem, Am Yisrael can suffer. Meaning that, according to the Rambam in the commentary on Deuteronomy 31:18, he explains that this constant reality check that Hashem gives us, of showing us that the very same leaders that we had faith in go against us, it's a vicious cycle. And as a community, we believe in God, yet we tend to rely on governments to bring Jewish salvation. Well, everybody said, no, I believe in God, I have the black hat, I have the beard that could sweep the floor, I have the long skirt, I have the this, I have the, everyone, yeah, Hashem. But everyone watches the news to see what the president's going to do. Everyone watches the elections. Everyone spends so much time worried about who's president and what did he say this and what did he say that. And every time he has a speech, everyone's glued to the TV like it's Ruach HaKodesh. Like it's Moshe Rabbeinu speaking from Mount Sinai. They stop the learning, they stop the teaching, they stop life, they take off of work. Why? Because the president's giving a speech at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I think, Hashem Echem, if Moshe Rabbeinu came down at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, some people said, no, I'm busy. President's coming? Oh, no. Psh. Come on. Gotta take a break. Gotta listen to the president. So we say we believe in God, but in reality we're showing that we're having a lot more dependence on these governments. And the Rambam says, and God responds in kind to our lack of faith in Him by turning His countenance away from us. Thus His apparent uninvolvement in Jewish history is a direct reflection of our own behavior. He's telling us the more we rely on government, the more Hashem is likely to put us in the hands of government. This is why in the book of Deuteronomy, and also it's in the Tehillim, it says, Aru, cursed is the man who relies on man. Cursed. So now, this is a very, very serious problem. We see that we're constantly failing at the same thing. We're failing at it as we speak to such an extent we're bringing these people to Beit Knesset. Political figures are coming to Beit Knesset. Christians are coming to Beit Knesset. I think one day they're going to put the Avodah Zarah in the Beit Knesset also, Hashem Echem. They're going to put Buddha right next to the Aron HaKodesh. No, let's just look at it and see if we feel better. Let's be in peace with the Chinese. Maybe they could donate $1 billion to the Beit Knesset. So when we go and get off track to such an extent, you can't really expect that much. But now Rabban Gamliel is telling you, listen, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes you have to have a Jew in politics. You have to. He's got to play something. It's his job. He doesn't want to be there, but he has to be there. Okay, so Rabban Gamliel says, okay, first and foremost, understand. Your job is Torah, mitzvot, everything else is secondary. So we talked about last night. Anyone wants to want the details? Last night's you. Torah is number one. You are never allowed to violate Torah for any reason. Unless it's pikuach nefesh. Unless you're saving a life. But not like possible pikuach nefesh. A definite pikuach nefesh. Like somebody asked me a question today. She said, listen, I want to go to nursing school. But the problem is that this nursing school that's local, they give classes on Shabbat. Can I go even if I walk there? I'm going to walk there. I'm not going to drive. I'm going to walk there. Can I go to nursing school on Shabbat? I said it's only a matter of time. Even if you walk there, it's only a matter of time before you violate Shabbat. Which means you can't go. Why? Because number one, even walking there, maybe it's out of the tchum. It's too far from the KIRUV that you have. That's number one. Two, you may use tools. Not let you use these tools on Shabbat. Three, you may have to write. It's only a matter of time before you are going to violate Shabbat, not to violate Shabbat for school. Only if you're saving a life, and you're a student, you're not saving any lives. And even if there was a possibility that you will help in some surgery that will save a life, it's only a possibility, it's not definite. Not to violate Shabbat for a possibility. Why? Because as we learned earlier today, Gemara Masechet Megillah, Gadol Talmud Torah mi'atzalat nefashot. Torah, learning of Torah even, not just fulfilling the Torah, learning of Torah is already bigger than saving lives. But we still put the Torah on hold to save a life. Why? So the life could fulfill the Torah. Not because life is more valuable than Torah. So first and foremost, Rabban Gamliel is telling you, you're a ruler, you're in there, make sure you befriend them from a distance. Know that this relationship is based on certain benefits. They want something from you, you better get something from them. Don't wait till your last day in office to ask for them to give a contribution. Get to business right away. Don't befriend their kids, don't go to Christmas parties, don't go to Hanukkah parties, don't go to any parties with them. Go strictly business. You want to save Am Yisrael, you want to help Am Yisrael, get to business. Enough with the political talk and all the nonsense that everybody spends their whole life doing, playing golf, playing this, playing that. By the time they actually get to the request, they don't even want it themselves anymore. Why? Because they're comfortable playing golf. Like, hey, if I ask them what I want, we're not going to go play golf anymore. So let me delay it. In 6 months I'll ask them. I want to play another 6 months worth of golf. Get to business. Also know that they're only friendly with you if they want something from you. They want your votes, they want your money, they want your power, you want your control, something. As soon as you have nothing to offer them, they're going to throw you in the garbage. How do we know? We just showed you several proofs. People that are much bigger, better, and smarter than you got thrown in the garbage instantly.
For no reason.
For no actual valid reason. Now, one of the things that this could apply to each and every single one of us, not only in government, because we're not necessarily all going to have political power, we're not even all necessarily going to have, power in our own company. Some of us are just going to be employees, simple employees, because our life is more focused on Torah. But this also is something that we have to use on a day-to-day basis with the people we call our surroundings, our friends and family. Most young people think that they have a lot of friends. But if you ask any old man or any old woman how many friends they have, usually they'll be very happy to say they have one. So one time there was a 20-year-old kid, came to his father, so happy in his life, he's 20, he's partying, he's this, he's that, and his dad asked him, listen, son, how many friends you have? He goes, Dad, I have at least 100 friends. He goes, you have 100 friends? Yeah, I have 100 best friends. Everybody's my best friend, not just a friend, best. We go here, we go there, we go there, we go there. He goes, Abba, you must have 1,000, 2,000 friends. He goes, no, I don't have. He goes, how many friends you have, Abba? Half a friend. He goes, what do you mean half a friend? He goes, Abba, half a friend. That's it? What, everybody doesn't like you? He goes, no, I only have half a friend. He goes, wow. He goes, no, Abba says, you shouldn't feel bad for me. You should feel bad for you. He goes, why? Because I have more friends than you. He goes, what do you mean? I just told you I have 100 friends. He goes, you don't have any friends. I have half a friend, you have nothing. So how do you know I have no friends? I just told you I have 100. I'll prove it to you. Go take a sheep, slaughter it, put it in a garbage bag, and knock on every one of your friends' doors and tell them, listen, there's a dead body, I just killed somebody by accident. Help me out. And see what they say to you. So the kid says, okay, why not? Knocks on the first door, says, listen, there's blood everywhere. On him, on his shirt, everywhere. It looks like real. Yo, listen, I just killed this guy, you gotta help me out. Hey, get out of here. Close the door right in his face. Second door, in his face. Third door, fourth door, fifth, everybody closes the door. Eventually, after the 50th door, he goes, hey. Like, what? What did you do? He goes, look, come on, we went on vacation last month. He goes, well, okay, we went on vacation, so what? I'm gonna put my life in danger for you. You're the murderer, you're the problem. Get out of here, I'm not gonna put my life on the line for you. Closes the door. Next one says, so what, we went to the Bahamas together? So what, we went to school together? So what, you lent me $5,000? So what? I'm going to go to jail for you? Why? Why am I going to go to Ganon for you? Because you lent me a few dollars? Because you gave me a ride to the hospital? So what? Everybody out of the whole 100 closes their door in his face. And he goes with his head down back to his father. He's like, Abba, you're right, I don't even have one friend. But who's this half a friend of yours? He goes, yeah. Before you change your clothes, go to my friend. Go to my half a friend. Tell him the same thing. It's the middle of the night. He knocks on this guy's door. 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, listen, I'm David's son. I murdered this guy, I need your help. He goes, come in. And as soon as he comes in, starts giving him a towel to wipe himself. What happened? Listen, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. He's like, listen, it's not real. Actually, just a sheep. But thanks a lot for being a friend. And he goes back to his dad and he says, how'd you know that he's going to do it? How'd you know he's going to save me? Yeah, that's what a half a friend is there for. He goes, what do you mean? Why do you keep calling him a half a friend? A guy like that, he's more than one friend. He's 1.5. He goes, no, he's only half. Because why is he only half? He said he's only half because you still weren't in 100% danger. You weren't caught yet. You just committed the murder. So you always know that he could help you get away with it. If the cops were already catching you, probably wouldn't open the door. That's why he's a half a friend. You weren't in 100% danger yet. You were in some danger. Safek. Maybe danger. Maybe we can get away from it. Maybe we could hide the body in the basement. Throw him in the ocean. No one knows yet. Only you. He goes, Abba, is there such a thing as a real friend? He goes, yeah, there is. He goes, what is a real friend? He goes, I know somebody that used to have a real friend. It was many years ago. There was one guy, a Jew. You know, anytime the Goyim get bored, they blame the Jews for something. So they blamed this Jew for stealing. You know, in those days, Jew that stole, Gzal Din Mavit, death penalty. King decreed, Jew stole, death penalty. You don't even have to prove it, no evidence, no nothing. You say you stole, it's a death. So the Jew says, okay, listen, I understand I can't get away or anything like that. I understand. You guys want to kill me. What can I do? Can you at least give me just a day to go say goodbye to my family? One day. He goes, well, one day. We're going to let you go. You're not going to come back. He goes, no. I'll give you collateral. What collateral are you going to give us? My friend. He's also a Jew. You guys really just want to kill Jews. It's not because you just want to kill me. Somebody else, you kill him too. So I'm going to give you another Jew, my friend, my best friend. I'm going to give you, and obviously I'm going to come back. Or you get to kill him anyway. Either way you win. He goes, okay, fine, no problem. His friend comes in, he's collateral, sits in the cell. Said, if you're not back on Tuesday, 2 o'clock, say we're killing your friend. No problem. Tuesday at 1:55. Said he's not back yet. Okay, let's go. The friend goes, they put the rope on his neck, and all of a sudden they hear the guy scream, no! I'm back. It's like, yeah, but you were late. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, I'm here. You can't deny that I'm here. Okay, no, come on, Yalla, we're going to kill you instead. And the friend says, no. He puts the rope back on his head. He goes, no, he's late. Send him home, kill me. He goes, no, Mapitom, I'm the one that stole, kill me. He goes, no, but he's late. He made a deal with you guys. You guys can't go against your own deal. It's your law. You can't go against the deal. So they're fighting who they're going to kill now. And the king hears this commotion. He goes, what are these two crazy Jews doing? He goes, they're fighting about who you're going to kill, Your Honor. He goes, what do you mean they're fighting who you're going to kill? He goes, this guy says kill him, the other guy says kill him. He goes, what, they want to kill each other? He goes, no, they want to kill themselves. So he goes, bring them over here. He says, why are you guys fighting? He goes, listen, he said he's going to come back. He didn't come back. I want you to kill me. That's your deal. He goes, yeah, but I'm the one that stole. He goes, why do you guys want to kill yourselves for? He goes, let me tell you the truth, Your Honor. See him? He's my best friend. He's my best friend. And I can't live without him. So I'd rather die first. And the other guy says, Your Honor, him, he's my best friend. He's my chavuta. Can't live without him. So I'd rather die first. So the king says, I can get you both off, but under only one condition. I said, yeah? Make me the third friend. Once in a while you're going to find a friend. But in reality, most friends you keep them at a distance. It's convenient relationships. You have money, you have looks, you have job offerings, all different types of things. Rabban Gamliel says, befriend people, but know that they're your friends for a reason. They want something from you most of the time. They're not going to open a door at 1:30 in the morning to save you. They're not going to be there even if they have $100, $200, $300 million. They're not going to lend you $100. I'm telling you, me, personally, based on experience. When I had money, people would throw money at me. Throw money. They would want to give me money. I didn't need money, but they want to throw money at me. all of a sudden get into a jam. I'm busy, I'm this, I'm that. I'm not one to ask for help. But one time I actually tried to see if maybe I could get help on this thing I was trying to do. I call a guy, at least he has $150, $200 million. At least. We used to do deals. Each deal was $1 million, minimum. $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Made a lot of money for him. Ask him for a deal, I think it was maybe, I don't know, $100,000. Meaning it's like a day's pay. Nothing. Nah, you know, I'm just too busy. What too busy? To tell your assistant to send me $100,000? What too busy? Nah, it's just going to mess me up, you know, it's not like... All of a sudden he's... This is not even a rounding error. It's not even a rounding error for what he has. And he's not the one, and two, and three, and every single person that I called. I tried to save my house. All of a sudden, no, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do... I'm like, yeah, but I'll pay you for it. You're going to get 100% on your money. You give me the money, I'll pay you in 2 years. When I sell the house, 100% profit. No, it's this, it's all of a sudden nobody has time, nobody has patience, nobody has this, nobody has that. Nothing. All doors closed. Why? Because that's life. It's already in the Torah. It's not new. There's nothing new under the sun. But you're only going to find out who your friends are when you really don't have any friends. Because that's the only time you're ever going to need them is when they tell you who they really are. So don't spend so much time thinking that you have these dear relationships. Because in reality, most people have relationships based on convenience, based on benefits, and things of that nature. And unfortunately, sometimes it's even worse. Sometimes some people that don't have Yirat Shamayim, they act like some of these older friends that I had. They used to work for me. We were best friends. They came to me with nothing, all of a sudden they have something. Started making some decent money, all of a sudden they became wolves. You know why wolves? Why am I saying wolves? Because wolves have a nature in them that if one of the wolves, it's a wolf pack, you know, wolves don't go alone, they have a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
But as soon as one of them gets weak, what happens? Where did they go bring him some help, some doctors, they bring him a fruit tree, bring him a drink? No, what do? They eat him. Yeah, you're too weak for us, you're too weak for the pack. They eat the wolf. Sometimes people act like wolves. Sometimes the wolves are actually better than the people, because at least they wait until he's really weak. And that's what happens. This is reality. Who do you invest in? Invest in your neshama, invest in your family, invest in your own home. Everyone else, yeah, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Don't be like this 20-year-old kid that thinks he had 100 friends. You don't have 100 friends. The Rambam had a good friend, also happened to be his employer. This story is not a well-known story. It's in the book, new book that came out by Rabbi Mazuz. It's one of Gdolei Ador right now, called Miyem Gdolei Yisrael, who are the giants of Am Yisrael. And in the book, he says a very, very interesting story about the Rambam, saying that Rambam worked for the king, the Egyptian king. And the king was always impressed by the Rambam's wisdom, how much he knew, and so on. And he'd want to test him from time to time. And they would play chess. Play chess. Chess is a mental game, you know, you have to be smart to play it if you know what you're doing. And the king would never win, but the Rambam had good midot, and he also knew where he stood. So every time he got check on the king, he'd push over the table. And all the pieces would fall, we have to start all over. And the king wasn't a fool, you know, okay, so they kept playing. But one day the king's like, you know what, listen, enough of this. I want to know how smart you really are. I want to know if you can beat me or I can win. We have to put something on the line. No, your honor, please. It's not. Let's just play. Because, no. we're going to put something serious on the line once and for all so you can't do what you're doing. If I win, you convert to Muslim. If you win, I convert to be Jewish. Because no, come on, for the Rav, please, your honor, can't do that. Because I'm decreeing as the king, that's it. Now you have to do it. And the Rambam says, they started the game and at that moment, he felt that he doesn't have siyata d'ishmaya. All of a sudden, he doesn't know what he's doing. All of a sudden, he forgot how to play. He doesn't know what's going on. Every move he makes, the guy's beating him. Now, if he loses the game, they're going to force him to convert to Islam or he has to kill himself. Which is what the Rambam was going to do. For the first time ever, the king gets a check. Not checkmate, but check. Which is one move before he beats him. He has a check for the first time on the Rambam. And at that moment the Rambam says, somebody comes in, a very honorable man comes in, says, I am suing the Rambam. Your Highness, I'm suing the Rambam. They stop the game, they look at this guy, who's this guy? Because why are you suing him? The Rambam stole 100 zuz for me. $100. He borrowed the money from me and he never paid back. So I'm suing him for the $100. The king's like, come on. Moshe. His name was Moshe. Musa. $100? You work for the king. You have $100 to pay this guy? Come on, it's busha. It's not nice. Give the guy $100. It's not kvodo. $100. It's not like $1 million, $2 million. At least you got a few Bentleys. $100? So, Highness, I never even met this guy in my life. I don't know who he is. So King says to the guy, he doesn't know who you are. He goes, well, only way I'm leaving is if he swears to me that he's not the person that borrowed the $100 from me. So no, come on, go ahead, do it. Just so we get on with the game already. So he goes, okay, I'll swear for you. He goes, no, you have to swear in my language. Okay, what language is it? Repeat after me. So I know you're not fooling anyone. And he starts talking to him in Hebrew. Now the king doesn't speak Hebrew. So he says to him, repeat after me. Make 2 moves to the right, make 2 moves to the left, go straight, go right, do all these things, and you'll beat the game. Rambam follows it, says goodbye, goes back to the table. Next 30 seconds, he turns the whole game around, he beats the king, wins checkmate. The king wants to he's losing his mind. How is this possible? How'd you do this? 2 minutes ago, you were about to lose. All of a sudden, you beat me? Because to be honest, the guy that just came here, that weird guy that just came here for the $100, he told me how to beat you. Because when he told you, how does he know how to beat me? I have no idea. I've never seen the guy in my life. But what he was saying in the language was a language I speak. It's Hebrew. It's a holy language. And he told me how to beat you. Find him. He sends all the soldiers to go find this guy. After looking, they found him. They bring him back. Say, who are you? It says, my name is Avraham Even Haezer. He goes, where are you from? He goes, I'm from Spain. He goes, what are you doing here? He goes, well, last night I had a dream. They came to me in a dream. They told me that a holy man by the name of Rambam is going to be in danger at this exact time. And I have to go tell him how to win the chess game. I said, okay, this dream of yours, fine. Interesting dream. How'd you get here from Spain to Egypt? In a matter of a few hours. He goes, no, it didn't actually take me a few hours. It took me less than a moment. And the king's like, what do you mean it took you less than a moment? In those days they didn't have jets. Because I used the holy name of HaShem and I came here. And the king says, come on. This is 900 years ago. The king says, come on, this guy put him in a mental institution. Rambam says, no, he's right. I can do it too. What do you mean you can do it too? Because I can do it too. I can use the name, holy name of HaShem, and I can go for any way you want. Go and prove it. But it's okay, whatever you want. Okay, there's a city 3 days away from here. And they have a store. Bring me one of their glasses with their names on it before 3 days. Rambam says no problem. He goes, leaves the door. 2 minutes later, he comes back with the glass. And the names on it and everything. Showing that when someone is that holy, Hashem changes nature for them. This is in the book of Rabbi Mazuz. He's one of the Gedolei Ador right now. Now a lot of people say that the Rambam didn't believe in demons. And some people take it too far where they say, listen, they should remove all talk of demons from the Torah. They should remove all this mystical stuff from the Torah. This is complete nonsense and a misunderstanding of what the Rambam said. So first and foremost, Rambam obviously, as you can see from this story, which is not told by me, this is a story from one of the Gedolei Ador, this is a story that happened. Obviously Rambam was very, very well aware and informed about mystical stuff, number one. Two, when he talked about demons, he says he doesn't believe that demons existed in his day, meaning around him. Not in general, because it says it specifically in the Gemara that there's demons. Chas v'shalom, Rambam, his whole life worked on giving us explanation of the Torah. He's not going to go against the same Torah he's giving this explanation of. Number three, there's demons and then there is ghosts or spirits. So it's also, he specifically talked about demons. So nonetheless, we see here that people take things too far and they start using their own logic to translate what the sages say instead of actually seeing what the sages say themselves. And this is only because of something going wrong somewhere along the lines. Their parents did something where instead of wearing the tzitzit, they didn't wear tzitzit anymore. Didn't seem like it was a big deal. Their parents, they wore tzitzit, but their kippah got a little smaller. And maybe watched a few shows on TV. And their parents, maybe they didn't watch TV, but you know, they played dice with friends here and there. And you see the weakness continue to gradually get bigger and bigger generation after generation. Eventually, current generation either doesn't believe at all, believes that there's nothing, chas v'shalom, or they just modify the Torah. As a reform, as a conservative, and even sometimes a modern Orthodox that brings Christians and all types of idol worships to the Beit Knesset. So here we understand that it all starts somewhere. It all starts somewhere. And we have to be very, very careful with the source. You know, because if we, as independent leaders of our own, and leaders of our family, leaders of our children, leaders of our communities, if we don't start standing up for the truth, everything is going to fail. Everything is going to fail. Maybe not right in front of you right away, but you see that the generation is getting worse and worse. Someone has to stand for the truth at some point. And I was talking to my Rav today, and honestly, with all the things, you know, unfortunately, you know, when you're in this, you find out a lot of things that you don't really want to find out, things that happen in the world and so on. And you know, it says in the Gemara, Masechet Avodah Zarah, that people should pray for the welfare of the government, because if there isn't fear of government, people will eventually devour each other. Meaning people will get to such a crazy state they start eating people, start murdering everyone. So on one hand, the Gemara says, pray that there's going to be order. On the other hand, it says, stay away from them. So this Mishnah over here is explained to you in what way? He's telling you, listen, yes, there's certain parts where the government is needed. It's needed. You need order. You need cops. You need, you know, all types of things for government. Sure. But don't bring it into your house. Don't have the IRS code or the Constitution replace your Chumash or your Gemara. Don't bring your President of the United States to your house. Bring the rabbi to your house. Don't make your television the place where you're going to see the world at large in a political view. Watch lectures instead that are going to actually help your future. So that's what we're trying to learn here, because it all starts with you. We can't do anything about our parents. We can't do anything about our grandparents. We can't do about our great-grandparents. Only thing we can do is follow what Matityahu and his 5 sons did in this holiday that's coming up in a few days. Matityahu was in by himself, and he had 5 sons, and maybe a few people, a few tzaddikim joined him. But according to the Gemara Masechet Gitin, the army of the Greeks was 600 million people. 600 million people. This is pretty much almost half of China, or double the size of America, were soldiers. We're not talking about the country as a whole. Just soldiers coming to war. And Matityahu and 5 people, and maybe a few others that helped him. Let's say 1,000. It's not, but let's say it's 1,000. Saying, we're going to go to war with them. You're going to go to war with them? Suicide mission, just jump off a bridge. It's much easier. You go to war with 600 million people? And Matityahu said, Im ena lili mili. If it's just like Hillel, we learn from Torah. If I'm not for myself, who's going to be for me? Whoever's for God, come with me. Meaning that it doesn't matter if it's natural, if it makes sense, or it doesn't make sense. When Hashem runs the world, He runs the world. Somebody has to stand for the truth at some point. We can't worry about our grandparents and great-grandparents or anything else. What we can do is worry about ourselves and our kids. The future. Our community. You have a few friends, you see that they're not completely reformed, you see that they're not completely atheists, you see that they're not completely off where they become haters of Judaism. Save them. Save them. But also know, the Gemara in Masechet Pesachim says something very, very scary. For anyone that wants to do KIRUV, anyone that has family members that is off the derech, you're going to have some resistance from some people. Some people are going to outright go against you and fight you. Sometimes you see people make comments on the internet, you're like, this guy's Jewish? This guy's a rabbi? This guy is like part of amistad? How is it possible? The Gemara in Masechet Pesachim, page 49b, says something very, very scary. גדולה שנאה ששונאים עמי הארץ לתלמיד חכם, יותר משנאה ששונאים אומות העולם את ישראל, ונשותיהם יותר מהן. Says the people that are ignorant, עמי הארץ, hate Talmidim Chachamim, hate Torah scholars, hate Torah in general, even more than the Goyim hate Am Yisrael. This is a Gemara. He's telling you here that someone that doesn't know Torah, a Jew, comes from Russian family, Moroccan family, Tripoli family, whatever family. Jew, an actual Jew, born Jew, Ima's Jewish, Abba's Jewish, everything is Jewish. Him inside, rotten. He went to the movies, he went to the bowling alley. No Torah in his life. Instead of going to Shiur Torah, he went to a strip club. Instead of going to Shiur Torah, he went to the bar. He says he can get to such a level that he can hate other Jews more than the Nazis hated the Jews. And his wife-to-be says, and their wives are worse than them. This explains a lot of things. You see, sometimes people are running the Israeli government, but they're anti-Torah. And I always ask myself, how does this make any sense? You're a Jew, even if you're not religious. Why would you go against religious people? Okay, you don't want to be religious. You want to keep a kippah on. You don't want to keep Shabbat, take vacation once a week. You don't want to eat kosher that's healthier for you anyway. Okay, you don't want to do all these things. Fine, I get it. Okay, you don't want. You're not into it. I get it. But why are you anti? Why are you going against it? Why you have websites of people saying don't believe in God? This Gemara tells you it already. He's telling you somebody that has zero spirituality, zero connection to HaShem, can get to a point of being worse than a Nazi. And this explains those very same Nazis that we had a whole shiur about that were Jews. Because there were Nazis that were Jews. This explains all of the characters in the book by Rabbi Zilber, Zechet Tzadik Livracha, To Remain a Jew, that everyone should read, of the Evsektia, the ones from Russia that were the communists that killed Jews, that killed religious Jews, rabbis. This explains the Jews from the kibbutz, when Eretz Yisrael, the modern state of Israel, was founded, that beat up rabbis, including Rabbi Galinsky, who was a survivor from the Siberian jails, who was trying to teach Torah for free, trying to help Jews in every single way. And when he found out that these kibbutzniks, these people that were like communist, anti-Torah, were bringing the Yemenite Jews, who were pretty much living in a third world country, and tell them, no, listen, now that you're in Eretz Yisrael, you don't have to keep anything. Mashiach is here. They cut their payas, they took off their tzitzit, they tell me now don't learn Torah anymore. And Rabbi Galinsky went in there and started pretending that he's going to help them out, help these kibbutzniks out, and went on stage and telling them these Reshaim are going to teach you things against the Torah. HaShem says eat kosher, they eat rabbits. HaShem says learn Torah, they teach you that you came from monkeys. And these Jews, these Zionist Jews, what do? They went on stage and beat the hell out of him. Beat up a rabbi 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, several times this happened. You can read his own testament. It's a life story, biography that was written by his daughter. Rabbi Galinsky, one of the best speakers and KIRUV people that ever lived. Just recent generation. Gemara says, listen, if you get too close to these leaders, you get too close to these political people, you get too close to the secular world, you'll be worse than them. Where is it written in the Torah? Hashem promised it to Avraham Avinu. Hashem promised it to Yitzchak Avinu. Hashem promised it to Yaakov Avinu. He says, your descendants are either going to be like the stars or like the dust. When they're holy, they'll be higher than the stars. When they're not, they're worse than the dust. Already written in the Torah 3,300 years ago. It all starts from the top. All starts from the top. And if we really start looking at this holiday, yes, there's some halachot you need to learn about lighting the menorah and celebrating all these different things with oil and having fun. And even though there's a Megillat Antiochus, we don't really, it doesn't become like the Megillat Esther where we read it in public. But there's things to learn about Hanukkah. There's a nice story. But the really biggest story about Hanukkah is this. A Greek walks into a Hanukkah party, eating sufganiyot, playing with the dreidel. Like, hey, what are you doing? We're celebrating that we beat you. And a Greek was chewing the sufganiyah in pleasure, and he said, wait, you don't play soccer every Saturday? In the big stadium? Sparta. Where do you think sports came from? Your basketball courts, your soccer games, and your football games, and all the shtuyot we waste our lives on. If the Greeks came here, they'd be laughing at us. Why? Because we think we won. This is why we're so ignorant at this point that the number one most favorite holiday of secular Jews, Reform Jews, conservative Jews, is Hanukkah. Because it doesn't obligate you to do anything. You eat, you drink, you light a menorah. It's fun. Everybody, you ask God, listen, we need $50,000 for Hanukkah party. Everybody donates $500,000. We only need 50. Okay, so bigger party. And $400,000 for the rabbi with the quarter kippah. Hanukkah party, everybody donates. Helping Jews do tshuva, no one wants to donate. Maybe you're going to get $10 a day. If Mashiach comes, maybe it's getting $200 a day. Because they already know Mashiach is here. Why? Because it doesn't obligate them. But what's the funniest thing about it? The real biggest enemy of Hanukkah, the people that we really won against, were the Reform Jews. The ones that joined with the Greeks, that ratted on us, that got religious Jews, Orthodox Jews, Haredim killed. The Mityavnim were Karaite Jews and other types of Reform Jews that joined efforts with the Goyim. They not only brought them to the synagogues, they made them the new rabbi. And after they made him the new rabbi, they went against the old tradition. And that's what we won the war against. So if anyone wants to really celebrate Hanukkah, do yourself a favor. Tell your secular friends they should really learn about the truth of the holiday. There's nothing for them to celebrate if they're still secular. The war is against them. So if they don't want a war against them, join us. Do tshuva. Start small. Keep Shabbat. Keep kosher. Keep a few things. Stop acting like God's not real. Because eventually we're all going to end up in a hospice. And you're going to need God. What are you going to say? I was too busy making money. I was too busy chasing women. I was too busy playing sports. What are you going to say? Rabban Gamliel is telling us this. My brothers and sisters, you want to save your kids? You want to save yourself? Start by looking in the mirror, and after that, make sure your surroundings look the same. You have a beard? Make sure your surroundings have a beard. You're modest? Make sure your surroundings are modest. You're righteous? You're trying to be righteous? Make sure your friends are trying to be righteous. Why? Because if your kids continue to hang out with people that are losers, or they hang out with people that are completely atheists, even if they're family, even if they're your parents, even if they're your brothers, even if they're whoever, if your kids or if you continue to hang out with people that are Am Haaretz and are not interested in doing tshuva, you'll eventually become like them. If you can influence them, then sure, why not? Bring them on, get them stronger, get them to do tshuva. If you see that there's interest, if you see that they're listening to what you're saying, they're respecting what you're doing, Chazak u'Baruch, bring them on, bring them for Shabbat, bring them for the holidays, little by little. Be nice to them and show them the beauty of Judaism. But if they're the types of people that are anti-Torah, every time you mention God, it's like, oh, again, like one of those types of people. Or they're the type of people that make comments against the Torah, or they make fun of it. Get rid of them like a disease. As fast as you want to get rid of a disease, get rid of those people. Can't help them. Doesn't matter that you're friends or this or that. It's not much time. It's not much time. Mashiach's around the corner. It all starts with you. All starts with you. Any questions? B'ezrat Hashem, we'll celebrate Hanukkah in a few days. B'ezrat Hashem, maybe next week we'll have actually shiur with some more commentary on Hanukkah. But I thought this Mishnah is much more relevant than anything else I could say about Hanukkah, because it could also hit Hanukkah as well. It could also talk about Hanukkah, talk about the Mishnah itself to continue the series, but also talks about the position that we all find ourselves in. Everybody's so excited about the new president coming on board. Everybody's excited about the stock market being at all-time highs. Everybody's excited about everything that's going on. But to me, the better things look, the more scared I get. Because before HaShem punished us each time throughout history, not that Chas v'Shalom I'm thinking a punishment is coming, but unfortunately, if you just look at history, before HaShem gave us a serious wake-up call, every single time, right before we're at the top. Right before we're at the top. Just look at all the stories we mentioned today. Yosef HaTzadik at the top. Slavery, 210 years. Spanish Inquisition, top. Germany, top. Greece, top. Roman, top. Every time. Not one time, not two times, not three. Every single time we're at the top. Right now, unfortunately, some Jews are so comfortable with where they are, if you tell them, you want the Mashiach to come? Yeah, as long as I continue my life. They're so happy with their life, with their business making what it's making, and their reputation growing, and their Facebook profile gaining more friends, and there are more TV appearances, and more fake friends. People just forgot what the purpose of life is. You know, so you ask some people about Mashiach, they don't even want him to come. They're too happy here. Ramban is telling us here, the more we rely on this other stuff, other influences, government, people, and so on, and disconnect ourselves from Hashem, Hashem eventually has to give us a wake-up call. Hopefully, enough people watch these shiurim and wake up without needing Hashem to wake us up. That's the point. It's the goal. The goal is to wake up before Hashem wakes us up. So we don't need to wake up. We already have our own alarm. Watch shiur, we listened, we learned. That's it, we woke up. But make sure you're not putting yourself in a difficult spot where you're in such a difficult spot you can't get out of it. Where all of your friends are reform, conservative, and different types of people that are against the Torah, that you don't know what to do yourself. You have to separate. It's not an easy choice, but it's a reality. Unless you can bring them with you,
Yes.
it's not enough time. It's not enough time. Not enough time to be friendly with everyone. And that's it. I think that this covers this Mishnah. Unless you guys have any questions. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen ve'Amen. And also, last thing, anybody who watches the shiur is also on Torah anytime. Our website is BezratHashem.org, and a few other places. Baruch Hashem. Bezrat Hashem, I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.